Maybe that's their problem.
Okay. So real quick before we get started, I actually lost the piece to my mic that covers it. So I might be a little louder than usual. So I'm definitely doing a mic check before we get started. I do one anyways, but, you know.
How did I do that?
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? I mean, I can hear me. I don't... I sound a little different because, like I said, I don't have the cover for my mic. But, hey guys, how are you? Hello, mighty person. Consume soup. What's up, Thomas? Welcome. How are you today? So, today we have a couple things we're going to do. We're going to be doing the new event. I don't know how many parts of it is out, but I'm definitely going to start it. Only 2. Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to be doing Kavehs Hangout, and then of course I'm going to be using my resin and still trying to get some artifacts for Lenny, because I still have none that work. Oh my god, I legit can't get a decent main stat for Lenny. It has been the worst artifact grind I've ever done. I don't know why this artifact domain hates me, but it does. So, real quick, let's condense our resin and let's start. How's everyone doing today? I'm excited. We are so close to Child's Banner. I know, like 10 hours. Good luck if you guys are pulling for Child or Zhongli. I know a lot of people really like getting Zhongli because, you know, he just makes the game easy mode. Then again, if you have Layla, you can say the same thing. I know people like Zhongli's defense shred though, which, you know, reasonable. I like doing reactions though, so I'm a Layla. Alright, so let's do this oh, no, I don't want to match. Sorry, other people of the human race. I just don't like playing with you.
Not now.
So I don't know if you guys saw my recent short. I literally made the whole thing in like legit 5 minutes. I was so bored. I was so bored yesterday, and I was just like listening to Steven Universe music because it came up on my Spotify playlist, and Giant Woman came up, and then I was thinking, you know who turns into a giant woman? Ting-Yoon! Yeah, so that's how that happened. I don't know. It was a weird last minute thing.
Don't be scared. The night is cold.
I'm going in! Let's light it up! Adventure time!
I'm in a weirdly good mood for first thing in the morning, by the way. This is the first attack percent goblet I've gotten for him. That is the goblet, right? Oh, frick, I don't even know. That could be good. Timepiece. Please. Is that a timepiece or a goblet? It is not a timepiece. Damn it, it is a goblet. Should have guessed because it's a flask. I got him backwards. My bad. It's shit.
Off we go!
mess with me.
Teamwork is strength.
Boom.
Stars, shine for me.
Boom. Boom.
Repeats its course.
Boom.
Behold!
Already doing way better.
Know your place.
Not now. Cold. Mine's a good... Dare to mess with me.
Years of this. Everybody stand back.
The wind rises.
Alright. I've been doing a lot of Star Rail runs for Artifacts too, so this has been my life. By the way, like, I'm trying to get Imbibiter Lunae some artifacts before with the Star Rail stream on Friday, because I want to use him. But I just can't get anything with crit damage. I need to get him a crit damage body, and I need to get him a way better attack boot. Because if you guys don't know, the artifacts are slightly different in Star Rail.
Repeats its course.
Squall and Fury.
Most of the pieces mean the same things, but some of them are different as well.
That's far enough.
Oh, I just got
Not now. Cold. Mine's a good...
Teamwork is strength.
Have fun with this game.
The wind rises.
Man, why do I keep
Dare to
happening?
gaze upon me? You're dead. Falling into
What the hell just happened?
My guiding star.
Let's light it up.
Layla, I need your shields to stay like 2 seconds longer.
Years of
That's
the
it.
storm. Off we go.
Not now.
I'm going in.
Squall and Fury.
That didn't happen. Before this, I was watching someone rank every character animation from adding them to a team. What? Like character trailer? I watched someone rank every like Genshin character. I'm very confused. Or do you like like characters from animation? Because if so, that's a lot.
Too slow.
My guiding stars. Don't be scared.
If you mean the Genshin characters, I have seen videos where people done that.
Have fun with this gift.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is strength.
Behold.
Stars, shine.
Years of the storm. Let's light it up. Everybody stand.
Squall and Fury. Bow your head.
Yeah, that was a way better run than the other ones.
Following me.
Genshin characters? Yeah, I specifically seen a couple do that before. Where they went through and they had like, was it like Monopoly money or something, and they tried to like outbid each other on Genshin characters or whatever. It was kind of cool. It was cute. It was a cute video. Of course, both of them wanted Hu Tao, both of them wanted Raiden. That's like the only thing I remember from that video.
Squall and Fury.
Oh man, that was such a long time ago. Alright. I did not get anything, of course. So now let's go to the event. And then we can start doing Kavehs Hangout. Do. Interesting. Get my boss killing team out. This isn't ominous at all. Select difficulty? Hard as fuck, obviously.
Quietly now.
Rest and rebuild. Everyone hold hands.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
Sharing my knowledge. Grow. I see everything.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Allow me.
Torn to oblivion. There is no escape.
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's
Things.
over.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom.
I always think she's gonna say things are about to get dicey. Alright, cool. That was not very difficult for max difficulty. I'm just saying. I didn't get all the stars. Oh wait, yes I did. What? It's boring. There is a harder version. And, okay. That does make me feel better.
Busted.
Grow. Everyone hold hands. Hold the line.
Shine down.
Here comes the catch.
This may hurt a little.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Grow. Sharing my knowledge. Committed to memory.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Allow me. This may hurt.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. Shine down.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
Grow. The Temple of Wisdom. Hold the line.
Torn to oblivion.
Come on. Where'd you go? Yeah, that's not like too difficult, unfortunately. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not hard. I feel like the Abyss is way harder. Oh well, that was like mildly disappointing. I guess we could try the harder version. I don't think it's gonna go well because usually how these events work is it goes from decently hard to insane, because look at that. Oh yeah. 60% more. This could be very interesting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Another test subject. Suffocate.
Gotcha.
This may hurt a little.
Here comes the catch.
There is no escape. Now you shall perish.
Yeah, it's taken way more just to kill one of them. Okay.
Grow. Make yourselves at home.
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Illusion shattered, torn to oblivion.
Another test.
Gotcha.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom. Rest and rebuild.
Game's up. Time's over.
There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternal.
Quietly now. Take it easy. No.
Hold the line.
Things are about to get dicey.
Illusion shattered, torn to oblivion.
Oh my god, she's bulky.
Billowing surge.
Gotcha. Game's up. Time's over.
Make yourselves at home. Grow.
Now you shall perish.
Oh my god, there's more. They added more enemies. I just realized, like, this isn't the last... These guys aren't the last guys anymore.
Here comes the catch.
Let's play pretty little.
Shine down.
Yeah, there's a whole nother round of them.
Oblivion.
The Temple of Wisdom.
I don't think it's gonna matter. I think I'm out of time.
A brash maneuver.
Game's up. Time's over.
There is no escape.
Even though, yes, I can physically win, I just... There's no point. Okay, so, different strategy maybe. A gather. Someone who can gather them, like Kazuha, might be useful there. But, who would I replace him with? I could use Venti Wanderer, but Farazan's buff is just too good. I could try Zhao.
Gather! I got careless. This is order.
Adventure time. I'm going in.
Burst forth. Lament!
Boring. Worthless.
Here! Solidify! I will have order. Suffocate!
Witness my great undertaking. Everybody stand up.
Evil conquering! Worthless! I got it.
Boring.
Another test subject. This is order.
Let's light it.
Come into... Burst forth! Stabilize! Moment of birth! Come into...
I'm going in.
Boring! Order guide you! Disappear! Worthless! Here! Boring! Worthless! Worthless! Useless! Quake! I will have order!
Let's light it up. Everybody stand.
Witness my great undertaking! Evil conquering! Here! Boring. Useless. Boring. Worthless. Here.
Okay, well that was a lot better, but unfortunately, I did mess up Zhao's rotation there in the middle, so I wasn't actually able to get his ult back up in time, which kind of screwed me, but I think Zhao might be the way to go there. Although, maybe with Farazan. Maybe not Albedo. Speaking of Abyss, finally changing floor 9 to 10, yeah.
It's been a while since I've limbered up.
Another test subject. Gather!
Gears of the storm!
Boring! Disappear! Here! Here! Boring! Boring! This is order. Stabilize.
I'm going in!
Dare to mess with me? Truth repeats it.
Another test. Conquering. Worthless. Boring. Boring. Useless. Here.
I need to keep these two together.
Worthless. Boring. Useless. Order guide.
Pop this.
Solidify.
Teamwork is strength!
Have fun with this gift.
Lament. Worthless. Worthless. Useless. Boring. Here. Worthless. I will have order.
Let's light it up! Gears of the storm! Everybody stand!
Disappear. Here.
Yep. That's a good question for fun. I've seen online people searching for Genshin, people always selling accounts with 5 stars and such. If you sold yours, how much do you think you would get? Well, it depends. It really depends on like how much you've spent, how many like 5-star characters and stuff you have. Probably like 3K. Not just because that's, you know, I have a C6 Xiao and C2 Raiden and, you know, that kind of stuff, but also I have most of the characters and a lot of them are built. So, I don't know. Definitely more than 1K. Alright, let's try... Should I try the other one? They gave me 4 rocks. That wasn't even worth it. It didn't even give me more primos. What? Oh, that's shitty.
Too late, bird! Off we go! Let's light it up! I'm going in!
Have fun with this gift.
This is order. Stabilize. Evil conquering. Worthless. Useless. Boring. Boring. Here.
Oh, got 5 off that time. That's nice. If I can just keep going in between them, I can usually do infinite.
Order guide you.
These things are so bulky. See, the problem with Zhao is he does do a lot of fast damage.
Everybody Stand back.
But bulky enemies like are his like big weakness. That's why I usually do the double Geo team with Zhao, because it lets him cover all the stuff he usually can't fight
Worthless.
on higher difficulties, like these things. It's just because he's Animo, you know?
Boring. Boring. Worthless. This is order.
Truth repeats its course. I'm going in. Let's light it up.
Evil conquering. Here. Worthless. Worthless. Useless. Boring. Here.
Yeah, these things are just too bulky. This is definitely a Raiden fight.
Order guide you. Gather.
She shreds defense
Everybody
just enough.
stand back. Dare to mess with me? Here's the...
Lament.
This is definitely a defense shreds fight. Oh my god.
Boring. Boring. Solidify.
Let's light it up.
I will have order.
Yep. Yep. Alright, so let's try that with the unkillable Shogun.
Quietly now.
Allow me. Commit it to memory. Grow. Yes. This way, turn a little.
Busted. Shine down.
Share my knowledge.
Take it easy. Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
Hey,
There is no escape. Now you shall perish. Shine down.
Or not, damn. Even with her defense shred C2.
Busted. Torn to oblivion.
You guys know how much energy recharge Raiden has?
Illusion shattered.
A lot.
Here comes the catch.
this way, turn a little.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Make yourself at home.
Under
Yeah.
us.
Okay. Jeld actually did better than my Raiden.
I see everything.
Things are about to get dicey.
That's a little scary.
Bring refuge.
GPS Kokomi!
The Temple of Wisdom.
There is no escape.
Hold the line.
Busted. Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal.
I wonder if I did Raiden and Zhongli for the double defense shred, if that would work. I don't know though. I wouldn't need Kokomi then.
Make yourself at home. This way, turn a little.
There is no escape. Torn to oblivion.
I don't know. EM Raiden would be fun to perfect combined with Nahida. Yeah. Well, oh well. Back to my exploration team. And we're gonna go hang out with some Kavehs. I still have my dailies to do. I keep saying I'm gonna switch them to Fontaine, and I never do. Wait, let me do that before I forget again. Avengers Handbook, Commission, Mondstadt to... Oh. You can't. That's weird. Okay. Well, I guess we're keeping them here then. Switch to a friendship team. Oh, actually, I could switch to my Lenny team. He needs friendship. And it gives me an excuse to use him. How? Mine doesn't show up.
Check this out.
Go in!
The wind knows me. I got you covered. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
And voila!
Boop, 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 boop. Oh, okay. Hate when they do that. They're all pretty close together, but in opposite directions of like a waypoint. Oh.
Everybody stand back! Let's light it up!
Why can't I switch? There you go. That was weird.
Supporting fire. Now disappear.
A round of applause!
Don't get too close.
Teamwork is strength!
Step right up.
It seems we're both keenly interested in each other. Well, know that the honor is mine. Relax. I couldn't ever tell lies to your mesmerizing eyes, not even if I tried.
You totally did for like an entire trial, Lenny. I call bull, but whatever. One Fontaine Dailies just pop some bubbles. Why can't I pop some bubbles? I want to pop some bubbles. It's probably because my Fontaine friendship's just not high enough. I'm assuming. Like, I'm still working on, like, level 1 because I haven't done the quest there yet. I need to get on it and just start doing my Fontaine quests so I can, start all the friendship stuff so I can do my weeklies. I really want their wings and I really want the crystal flycatcher and stuff.
Time to go. The wind knows me.
Let's get this show on the road!
Okay. Okay, last one's at the Dawn Winery. Please tell me it's not the look for the lost key one. Oh my god. I'm about to switch them back to Inazuma, even though they're super annoying, just because I can't stand the Mondstadt ones anymore. I see him with the freaking lost keys. Why can't you ever just keep your keys, like, on a hook or something? Oh, thank God I'm not. You're probably worse. You're the one where I have to go back to the church, right? Yeah, that's worse. Okay. I haven't done Mondstadt dailies in probably years. Yeah, I just didn't like the Sumeru ones, so I switched them back to Inazuma. Then I was getting annoyed with the Inazuma ones because they were always so far apart that I switched them back to Mondstadt, and I've just kind of kept them on Mondstadt because they're easy, but they're so repetitive. They're so boring. I think the only one I still enjoy is the one that you get for like Sarah or whatever her name is, Sarah or whatever, breaking the dummies. That one's always fun. Especially because I can just like one-shot it with legit any skill now. I remember back when Genshin first started, everyone had so much trouble with that. I did too. Alright. Level 20, very nice. Free wish. And it's nothing. Can I get something? Please, game. Like, just give me a Lynette. I'd prefer a C1 Lenny. The banner's about to end. Be nice to me. You gave me a Mona last stream. I still haven't forgiven you for that. Fucking game. Oh, the shop reset. Nice. Yeah, well, we're going again. Purple, Lynette, please. Why? Come on. Gold. I don't know why this game hates me so much. I really don't understand it. Oh, I remember when breaking was hard. Now Zhongli just breaks them all. I know, right? Oh, purple. Lynette. Layla. Furman's not even out yet. He's not out for another 9 hours, game. Hold your roll. Or Fermine, or whatever his name is. Oh well. Alright, so let's go to quests. Hangouts. Back to Kavehs. Because if you guys don't know, we did start his last stream, which was very, very cute. We got this ending. So now we are going to continue it. And we're going to continue doing the different routes and stuff. Although I feel like all of this could have, you know, we could have just given the dude a hug and he would have been fine. It's alright, I like hanging out with Kaveh.
Alhaitham isn't in, so feel free to sit wherever.
I don't get it why his eyebrows are gray, though. I've never understood that.
Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed.
Does he
The
dye his
box is
hair
pretty
or his
dusty,
eyebrows?
Which means it's already been a while since
That
I
is
moved
the
into
question.
this place. And many years since my mother moved to Fontaine. I'm happy for her. Anyway, enough
Yeah, we've
about
seen all
that.
this.
Let's see what I packed into this box. What are all these things?
Kid drawing.
Oh, I remember now. This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos.
Why'd you space it out like that? Kavehs was really good last time, yeah.
Obviously,
it was
I wouldn't
cute.
call it anything special now. Now that I've said that out loud, I suppose I do have some level of artistic talent, right?
Why do you say that?
Criticism and self-doubt have always been a part of the artistic process. Without criticism, there can be no improvement. It's normal for me to question my abilities from time to time. I admit that I may have spent a little too long questioning myself this time around, but as you know, the heart tends to dwell on whatever it pleases. Anyway, never mind. The more I talk about it, the less confident I feel. Let's see what else we have in the box. Ah, my building blocks! It's been years since I've last seen these. When I was a kid, I used to stack them super high, and could even stabilize the tower to keep it from tumbling over.
Of course you could.
Oh, and this blueprint. I made it by copying my mother's sketch, and the aspect ratio was horrendous. I was super proud of myself when I finished it.
This is the sketch thing, yeah. We listened to this too,
It was
yeah.
only a few days later that my mother took me. She didn't scold me about it.
So where's the new option?
Let's see. Is there anything else left in this box? Huh.
The journal?
What was
Do we have to suggest, like,
this is my
not trying to
mother's
open
note.
it?
When I was a child, I used... Huh. Wonder why she did... If only I could. Hey, it's not a matter of time. Who knows? Maybe this time something will click in my head.
Your name?
I could tell what you were thinking. Don't worry, I tried all the easy guesses a long time ago. I've tried my name, my father's name, my mother's name, my grandparents' names on both sides, and all of our birthdays. I've tried every name and number remotely related to my family. I've even tried stuff like Love You Kaveh, Take Care, and Yours Truly.
I remember this.
Tried
I complained
every
about
cheesy
none of
phrase
those
and
letters
well-wish in the
match.
book, but this lock has
The amount of
refused to
letters.
budge. I wouldn't try that route again. I have
What's
a
up,
hunch that it
Galaxy?
won't
How are
be
you
that
today?
simple. Also, if she really did use something like that, she'd never hear the end of it from the folks over at Haravatat if they...
Then maybe we should put it aside for now.
Yeah, you're right. Although I was hoping to find some words of wisdom from my mother, if I stop and think about it, her words may not be the advice that I need to hear right at this moment.
Except for they were.
Everyone's life journey is
It
different.
was such a cute ending.
Traveler, you've visited many lands and met many people, so I'm sure you've run into situations where some advice wasn't exactly suitable for the situation at hand.
Yeah, Miko's training arc had had no actual use.
Ah, I just got an
fighting
idea,
Raiden.
though. If I want to rekindle the creative passion that I had before, instead of trying to unlock an old notebook, why don't I take a walk around the parts of town that had changed my life? What do you think?
Sounds good to
I'm
me.
glad you agree. Then let's start by taking a quick stroll around the academia.
Your idea of relaxing is going back to work and taking a walk? Okay. My idea of relaxing is not going back to work, but okay, Kaveh, you do you. Although, to be fair, I don't work in a giant, gorgeous library like this.
Of all the places in the academia, I remember this one most. When my studies got busy, I used to pull all-nighters here trying to finish my blueprints.
It's got like 2 story quests in TOF and now in the desert. Yeah, they just let you do that. You don't actually skip them. They're still there. You still have to do them. They just give you the option to go straight to the desert.
Who doesn't miss their time at the academia? Life was a lot simpler then, and we all had far less troubles.
And you and Alhaitham were friendly.
I created many designs that I thought were beautiful in the House of Dana. I drew whatever came to mind, since I didn't have to care about budget constraints or turning them into reality. If I had to give a reason, it'd probably be because I like the ambiance here. The academia also had a rule that allowed scholars to annotate any physical books they came across. As a result, the books here are chock full of scholars' wisdom across many generations.
That's cool, I think. You're good, Kaveh.
Oh, here, this is a great example. This book, History of Ancient Sumeru Architecture, contains some analysis that I did many years ago. Huh? Why is Alhaitham's handwriting also in here? When did he ever read this book? I guess it's probably from when we worked on that research project together. Anyway, he probably never cared to tell you this, but the House of Dana is where Alhaitham and I first met. I came here to do my homework, and saw him sitting by himself next to that row of bookshelves. A group of Haravatat scholars
Can't go
were
5
chatting
minutes
near
without
him,
talking
but he
about
looked as if he
Alhaitham.
was too lazy to join them. There was a pretty stark difference between him and all the rest of them.
But that's cute.
It was my
You're
fault for
telling us
feeling
how
bad
you
for
met him.
I thought he must have gotten into some kind of trouble and went over to ask if he needed anything, not realizing that...
Not realizing that you were in fact the one in a whole heap of trouble?
Alhaitham? Why are you here?
The House of Dana is a public space. Anyone can come here, no?
Plus, you know, dude literally curls up with a book legitimately everywhere.
But shouldn't you be at the records room at this hour? You're not here to watch me make a fool of myself, are you?
You think I would derive amusement from watching you fall into depression over your life's various troubles? If that's the case, then I suppose I must have been entertaining myself for years.
Damn!
I came here to pick up a few files. If your voice hadn't managed to get through my soundproof earpieces, I probably wouldn't have noticed you.
All right. I admit I was probably overreacting just now.
Well, want to continue the story?
Probably not when he's right here with us. As his senior, I shouldn't try to tarnish his reputation.
There was nothing embarrassing or shameful about it. When I was still a student at the academia, I once collaborated with Kaveh on a research project. A collaboration is usually beneficial for all parties, but due to issues with our personalities, we ended up going our separate ways before completing the project. We had a number of differences, and they remain unresolved even today. But there's no point going into that right now. The more important question is,
I'd like to go into
why
that.
are you at the House of Dana?
Kaveh's feeling a little...
As a senior scholar, isn't it my responsibility to offer my friend a quick tour and explanation of the academia's architecture?
I see. Then let me guess. Your next stop will be the pavilions around Razan Garden? Our famed architect sure loves showing off that corner to all his friends. Oh, and Kaveh, a lot of the books you annotated have been moved to the innermost section of that bookshelf over there. You'll have to dig them out yourself if you need to find them.
Huh? But why would you know that? Don't tell me you finally had an epiphany and realized that there's great virtue in respecting your elder's work.
Sure, if that will give you some self-confidence. Leave any words of thanks you may have to the ex-Grand Conservator. The last time he was here, he was complaining that he had received reports from current students. The main grievance being that the annotations are too long and difficult to read.
He worked so hard, and he made it too difficult! Kaveh! He either overdoes it, or completely falls under. Oh, Kaveh.
As a result, the books you annotated have been moved
Beer,
to the back
beer, bye.
shelves.
Class is starting. Good luck, Galaxy. Have fun. I know class isn't always fun, but it can be, so good luck.
What? But all of my annotations were extremely important. Instead of reporting me, they should have been thanking me for my service. The notes that I took, they couldn't have asked for a better analysis of those books.
But it's analysis. You're supposed to be short and sweet.
Okay, just you wait. I'm going to fix this right now. I'll dig all the books out and return them to the proper shelves.
Oh, we'll wait. Anyway, you were about to say he's feeling a bit down?
He was put through the ringer recently by a particularly difficult client.
Put through the ringer. What an interesting phrase. I assume he used those exact words himself?
It doesn't seem far from the truth,
He
though.
probably did suffer quite a bit, that's true. He always spends a lot of time editing his proposals, with the goal of satisfying as many of the client's preferences as possible. But the satisfaction of one client will not translate to general satisfaction with his work. Many problems in life can only be solved by a fundamental change of attitude. As the leading genius of Ksharawar, Kaveh should have both the right and the confidence to reject any unreasonable demands. There are plenty of architects in Sumeru who are inferior to him in skill, yet far more irascible in temperament. What's more, there are plenty of people who look up to such individuals as paragons of staying true to one's principles.
So, the problems with Kaveh.
Clearly, his predicament is inevitable, since he holds other people's feelings as more important than his own.
Yeah, he does, but he's just so... Alright, so here's the thing. Me and Kaveh are a lot alike. If someone asks us to do something, we'll do it. And we don't really think about it, too much, but, you can't just keep doing everything for everyone else. And I know this, and I've actually been trying really hard to work on that. You gotta set boundaries. You can't just say, yes, of course, whatever, you need something, let's do it. Because then you burn yourself out and you don't get anything actually you need done. And that kind of stuff. So I understand Kaveh's just a sweet little cinnamon bean, and
Of course, each person is different, and we
I
should
feel so bad
respect
for
the
him
paths that they have
sometimes.
chosen for themselves.
I just hope Galaxy has a couple kings in the days of class.
Admonitions will serve no purpose. People tend to succumb to familiar pitfalls, and this is especially true for those who believe it's their duty to carry more burdens on their shoulders.
It's also kind of nice that Al-Haytham is very nice about Kaveh when he's not around. half the stuff he just said, he'd
Looks
never
like you
say
were
to
having an
Kaveh's
enjoyable
face.
chat while I was gone. Were you talking about me by any chance?
Of
What
course.
do you think?
What else is there to talk about? Surely no one would be interested in talking about the files that you were browsing through earlier. Anyway, you should take a look at this. Look at this comment on page 82. Dear Kaveh, thank you so much for annotating this book in such detail. It was a great help to me. See that? Now that's how a student should treat their seniors.
And it looks like you're already in a much better mood now. It really doesn't take much to make you happy, huh?
Me happy? I'm mocking that retired blockhead for being so full of himself. He understands nothing about the true beauty of architecture. When I can find some time, I'll have a serious talk with him about making sure these books are put where they belong.
Why don't you just move all the books yourself? It's not like he hasn't cursed you out before. What was that nickname he gave you while you were in the academia? The Urchin of Kasharawar?
Wait,
Kaveh
what?
had a habit of scribbling and writing in all kinds of books.
Hey! You didn't need to bring that up. At least not when I'm still standing here. Oh, actually, I also found a really old sketch in one of the books over there. See? Doesn't it remind you of something?
An arc bridge?
Huh? Don't tell me even you don't get it.
Don't ask me. This is the time you specifically put aside to brag about yourself. Feel free to hoard all the spotlight you want.
But he can't. You're in the room, Al-Haytham. If you're not in the room, he talks about you constantly. If you're in the room, you're his focus. You gotta understand. You do the same thing about him. Like, you two need to just stop fighting and kiss already. Like, damn.
In that case, allow me to explain. Although this sketch is a little
They act like
abstract,
a freaking old married
you can plainly
couple.
see from the road plans that this was an original concept for the expansion of Port Ormos.
We can also plainly see that the designer was a huge fan of this project. It's the project he loves to talk about the most, second to the Palace of Alcazarzaray.
If I don't keep bringing up the neat projects that I've done, how would anyone know that I was the one who did them in the first place? There shouldn't be any complaints about Port Ormos. If I remember correctly, the construction process was very smooth, everything was made ready ahead of time, and there were very few safety concerns.
There are indeed no records of any complaints about this project. A most impressive achievement.
See? What did I tell you? Come on, let's take a stroll through Port Ormos next. I'll tell
Are you
you
gonna
all
come
about the
to,
design-
No
Haytham?
need. It's almost time to clock out for the day, and I don't intend on bringing any unfinished work home.
Suit yourself. It's not like you know how to appreciate artistry anyway.
Oh, these two. Why can't they just get along? Really gonna make me go around? I'm so used to just climbing everything. Okay. Oh, whoa. We're going all the way down to the port. Damn. They put a lot of detail into Kavehs.
Port Ormos.
I mean, Beto's had a lot of story and stuff, and we did do a lot of moving around too, I guess.
No, I didn't design any one specific building.
But
Most of
Barbara's,
my
we just
work
walked
here
around the
concerned
city.
Structural renovation.
Like, we didn't go anywhere.
Port Ormos had already existed since I was still a young
Bennett's, we
child.
did the same
It
dungeon
wasn't
like
as
5
large
different
as it is
times.
now, though. It only came to its current size after a sizable expansion. I was part of that project. The arch bridge over there, for example. That was one of my designs.
Bet Galaxy came to get a pizza in the Cupcake Day. Oh my god.
When I was first tasked with
Yeah,
the project,
maybe
I
not,
decided
because
to reference
school
the
just
growth patterns
started,
of
but
nearby trees to split Port
good
Ormos
optimism.
into 2 levels. My goal was to improve the overall utilization of space. We ran into a lot of issues during construction, but thankfully, we were still able to achieve the original vision. Residents can now behold all the ships entering and leaving the harbor from the vantage point of the bridge, while visitors can recognize the site of Port Ormos from a long ways away. I was still young and new to the trade back then. I could hardly believe that an idea in my head could become reality and remain in the world for many years to come. The true cornerstone of the creative process. The point about the design that will be ultimately used to judge its true worth. It was the first time that it became crystal clear in my mind. Once built, a building will continue to stand. Countless people will see it, and countless more will step inside it. Its final worth, whether it's good or bad, will be assessed by the countless generations of people that interact with the building during their lives.
I'm sure the residents of Port Ormos really enjoy it.
You think so? I'm glad to hear
Oh, we got
that.
him to all the way to
But
5
even
hearts.
with this project, I still had one
Awesome.
small regret. My budget was tight, and I was unable to use the higher quality timber I had originally intended for the design. I knew that some concessions on aesthetics would be needed as soon as I agreed to a proposal that prioritized the practical functions of the project. Us creative types know better than anyone that most projects cannot be completed without a few regrets. Even the Palace of Alcazarzare was not perfect.
But having no regrets would also mean you have no higher hopes for the future.
Yeah, you're right. I should learn to look toward future opportunities and believe that any regrets I have can be overcome in time. We've spent long enough here. There's still one last place I want to go, but it's a little far. Would you be interested in a quick trip to the desert?
I wouldn't mind.
Great. Most of my projects over the last few years have had something to do with the desert, partially because there's a special place there that I often visit. This is a rare opportunity, so why don't you come along and see it for yourself? If you ever feel down, maybe you'll be able to go there and feel better too.
Why am I scared? Kaveh. Do you get inspiration from a dirt hole? Okay. At least it's one of the pyramids.
Who would have thought that so many primal constructs could have congregated here while I was gone? We won't be able to sit and talk peacefully with these guys around. Let's clear the area.
I don't have any Hydro characters on me.
Everybody stand back!
I was using the wrong team for
Why do
this.
they never miss?
Don't get too close. Here's backup. Clouds high. The birds come.
Isn't this place great? I often come here to clear my mind when I'm dealing with a difficult situation. You know what I mean. Everyone finds themselves in frustrating situations once in a while. Just take me as an example. My family life got shaken up quite a bit when I was young. I struggled in school, and I got into a huge pile of debt building the Palace of Alcazarzare.
Because of Dory, she tricked you.
Although Al-Haytham thinks that it's because of my personality that I continue to live in the shadow of the past, I think it's also just a part of life. Plus, if I look back, I've honestly had my fair share of good luck as well. You could probably say I've followed in the path of my mother. Like her, I've gained a name for myself as an architect, built something that's seen as my magnum opus, and found many projects that others have entrusted to me to finish. Life is too boring when you live with no enthusiasm and passion. Only those who believe in the inherent meaning of it can capture the small nuances of everyday life and turn them into inspiration for beautiful designs. Of course, I will concede that loving something also
I got a
means
notification.
taking it to
My
heart.
Trailblaze power has
So
been
to an
fully
extent,
restored, which means I
caring
can do
is
some more
also a
artifact
source of
runs on
pain.
Star Rail 2.
If I didn't love
Damn.
my work, I wouldn't be so torn up about it all the time.
But we have the overflow system now on Star Rail, which means I don't have to actually get on and use it. The overflow will continue to fill up, and I don't have to worry about it.
But still, isn't this place beautiful? Despite the erosion from the winds and changing seasons, you can still perceive its past beauty and glory. With different landforms come different architectural styles. The desert's history has left it with few records regarding its buildings, so I often visit the desert to investigate things in person. The sight here has moved me ever since the first time I laid my eyes on it. I told myself that one day, I would also be able to create buildings that move others. My pain will one day fade into nothing, just as I reach the end of my life. But buildings are different. They are far more valuable than most materialistic things, and far more durable than human flesh. As long as there remain souls in the world who can decipher the meaning behind them, they will also have acknowledged me across the vast stream of time.
That got so deep, Kaveh. That got so
If
deep.
you were to ask me what art is, that would be my answer.
No, that's more like the Kaveh I
You
know.
think so? But I feel I've always been like this. Remember that question I brought up before? The one about whether I should see art as a divine gift of inspiration from the gods, or as a product of my own existential struggle. I still haven't found an answer to that yet. But if art wasn't inherently paradoxical and enigmatic, then people probably wouldn't be drawn to it. Those who pursue art will be unable to avoid the pain that it naturally brings. Will often be floating on cloud 9 one second, and sinking in a mire the next. I'll try gathering my thoughts again once I've found a way to define art in the first place. In any case, thank you so much for listening to everything I had to say.
No problem. Oh, that's a really cute picture. I like that one. I still think I like the other one better with everyone, but getting some standalones with Kaveh would be nice. That's why he's one of my favorite characters. Alright, let's go back to the quest. Now I have to start... Is there any more branches off of these? No. So, it looks like what we're gonna have to do is go back to the start and pick one of the other options. Okay. Let's go meet up with depressed Kaveh. Poor, poor depressed Kaveh. Where you at?
Taking this commission was truly the
Poke,
worst
poke.
decision. Oh, hey. Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing here at the tavern?
So are
Don't
you
listen to
arguing
anyone
with
who says that drinking-
someone just now?
So you saw all that, did you? Ugh, I thought I was in the clear. I made sure to double check that nobody I knew was around. Anyway, thanks for looking out for me. Honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm used to it by now. Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, I'll have a glass of wine. Do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
I'll take a glass of juice.
Wine in a glass of juice? Coming right up.
Because God forbid the 500-year-old drink wine. Although the Traveler's actually probably way older than that, huh?
A secret for me. But if you could add this one to the list as well, I'd really appreciate it. Arguing with a client is not a good look for me. If word gets out, other potential clients might be afraid to work with me. That guy, though. What was he even going on about? All those ridiculous demands of his? He's just a blabbering fool trying to act like a know-it-all.
He did want a tree stump house.
Another glass, please, boss. I'm not leaving today till someone has to carry me out.
You've got it, sir. I gotta say, though, it almost feels like you're saying that every other day now.
Don't be a jerk.
It really is every other day that you'd run into a client who knows nothing about construction requirements or architectural style. If this was perhaps getting used to this just means that I've grown numb to it. I've worked on so many projects since graduation, and none of them have been approved at the first pass. I would spend a lot of time altering my designs, and by the time the clients were finally satisfied, all my passion and enthusiasm would be gone. It feels like I'm straying further and further from my artistic vision with every change I have to make. I suppose, though, that just sticking to your guns and completely disregarding other people's feedback would also not be a good thing. All of this makes for a real paradox, one that particularly crops up in my work, too.
Here's your drink. How are you already spouting nonsense after just one glass? Your tolerance is usually much better than that.
He's not really drunk, he's just kind of upset.
Boss, what do you think is the meaning of art?
The meaning of art? Really, my friend, who in Sumeru understands art better than you? Anyway, I don't know about art, but I do know that I'm interested in business, and some patrons are waiting to be served.
What do you think, traveler?
Are these the different options?
Yes, art shouldn't be self-indulgent entertainment saved for the elite. Let's say that I built a house for someone. If they don't like how it looks, then no matter how brilliant it may appear to me, they won't be happy with it. The problem is that it can be very difficult to get validated by others. I could compromise my personal standards to accommodate my clients, but often that just means creating a final product that I would struggle to look at.
Okay. I'll help you convince the client to your side.
Thanks for offering, but you've seen how he is. He's not going to listen to anything I say.
But you should still
He
try.
understands nothing about my design.
You need to get a job.
And all the suggestions he made were as if he
And
just
get
wanted
paid.
to mock me.
I don't think he was intentionally trying to be difficult.
Okay, it is possible that I was just jaded by my frustration. Well, given I'm already on my 6th draft, I can probably push myself to make a 7th. There's no time to waste. The wine can wait until another time. I'll go take care of the bill.
Kaveh's got some debt he needs to pay off, so let's just get him back to work and, you know, get him to do his job and... Why is it so far away? I swear to God, they have to be able to use the waypoints too.
Kaveh, what are you doing here?
I've changed my mind. I was overreacting earlier. Can we try discussing the project some more?
My apologies as well. Now that I think about it, some of my requests were indeed a bit unreasonable. If I choose you to create the design for my project, I should have a bit more faith in your vision.
Thank you for understanding. Mutual trust is the basis for good communication. Now that we've got that out of the way, I think we can have a more productive conversation. To be perfectly honest, your commission request has been the most peculiar one I've ever received. Even now, I still know nothing about the building's intended purpose. All I know is that you want to build something in the desert for public use. I am aware that overly specific requests will
Is it a
restrain
porta
the
potty?
architect's artistic freedom. However, knowing nothing about the intended purpose of the building also means I have no idea if I'm on the right track. I've produced several draft proposals for you to choose from, and you've rejected every single one. If we don't get on the same page, it could be a decade before we can finally break ground on this project.
Yes, I've given this some thought already. I think we can go with the general direction of the latest proposal that you just showed me. It's just... Putting the building design aside, can we get some less expensive materials for the floor tiles? Yeah, I know someone in the business, and the red bricks he sells can go for pretty cheap. The timber here as well. We should be able to find some substitutes.
Please give me a moment. My head's starting to hurt again. Just please hold on for a
Kaveh.
second. So, let me get this straight. You want to reduce the cost of the project, right? But if we implement your suggestions, then I'm afraid we have to scrap the entire design. Architectural design cannot be neatly split into discrete parts. Any change to one part of the design will affect the quality of the whole thing. I decided to utilize high-end timber for this section because the weight-bearing structure requires the supporting materials to be durable and strong. Same with the tiles. Switch them out and the entire mural will have to be redesigned. More importantly, if we make such a change, both its practical functionality and aesthetic value will take a great hit. If all you need is a building with a roof that can keep people dry in the rain, you shouldn't have commissioned me. Many architects would be able to build you one of those while charging far less in commission fees.
Actually, Please tell me, are you absolutely sure that there's no room for any changes in this draft of the design?
I think the most important thing for me is to understand what you would actually like to get. If you could tell me more about your vision,
Just legit tell us what the design.
Some more.
What is the building
client,
for? That's
all.
not a
You should have the
unreasonable.
final say on how the project turns out.
Like, what if it's a lighthouse? He wanted a straight up tower, no roof before, right? Like a freaking tree. That's what he said. Like, what if it's like a lighthouse in the desert or something? He's commissioning a normal house because he doesn't. We don't know what he wants. This dude is the dumbest old man I've ever seen. Just tell us what the building is for. I'm so tired of this back and forth.
I want to build something unique. Something quiet and warm inside.
In the desert?
That can block out the world outside. I want all who enter this building to be able to temporarily forget everything that's going on outside of the building and just focus on their task at hand.
That's a bit more information than last time, but it's still extremely vague. To put it another way, every rich person who wants to build a mansion for themselves would request something like this. We've gone through many proposals, and this draft is already the cheapest one. Cutting costs by substituting building materials will not only detract from the overall effect of the building, it also won't save you much more in the grand scheme of things.
Thank you for giving it so much thought. Please give me some more time to mull over the budget. I'll get back to you once I've figured out a solution. I still have a few business meetings that I must attend, so I'm afraid I'll have to leave for now.
I really don't like this dude. Kaveh, you're 100% correct. Why do I feel like he's hiding something?
I also have a similar feeling.
Should we follow him and see if he's up to unusual?
Is that really okay? I mean, what he does now is none of our business. He does seem really suspicious.
Oh my god, the
though.
Traveler's a stalker.
He dresses like a rich person, but when you talk to him, he hardly sounds the part.
He's super fragile.
That's actually pretty
Damn.
common. Not all rich people are spendthrifts. Many are just, as if not more, stingy than him. The more mora some people have, the more they love interfering with people's lives. Like constantly reminding you to pay back your debts, or hinting every other day that it's time for you to pay rent. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure this person really wants to work on this project with me. Putting his vague requests aside, he's still finding excuses to procrastinate even when we've decided on a plan. Who knows how long construction will take if he keeps delaying things like this? We should find him again and get some clearer answers.
Ninja style. Although, I don't know how good Kaveh would be at being ninja. He kind of stands out.
Huh? Where did he go? I could have sworn he went this way. Let's keep looking.
Tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Hey, look! Isn't that Badawi? It sure looks like him, but he's dressed completely different now. What is he?
Didn't I tell you before? I'm not looking for more workers. Plus, aren't you a bit old for physical labor? If something happens to you, I won't be able to pay for it.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. I grew up as an eremite mercenary and worked in the desert my entire life. My body's still in great shape.
I'm so confused.
I don't have many talents, but I still have my muscle. If you need someone to unload goods or drive away sumpter beasts, I'm your man.
You used to be an eremite mercenary?
I know there are a lot of bad apples in our ranks, but most are just trying to make a living. We're not that greedy by nature, and we'll do our best when given a job.
Let me think.
So, this section of Kavehs hangout is us spying on this man with Kaveh. So it's about this man, not Kaveh. Got it.
I'm sorry, but I still can't take you in. I don't have any open positions right now, and don't have the Mora for anything more. How about this? Why don't you try your luck somewhere else?
Okay.
Just like, go away.
He used to be a member of the Eremites? Huh. From the way he was dressed, I would have thought he was a merchant from the rainforest. Let's ask him about it. We meet again.
Huh? Why are you guys here?
That's what we wanted to ask you. Who are you? Why did you dress up like a merchant to talk to me about our project? There's no need for us to continue this project if you still want to keep hiding things from us. I don't work with individuals I can't trust.
Believe me, I didn't have any bad intentions. It's just... All right, there's no point hiding anything anymore. The building I'm trying to commission you for is not really a personal residence for me, but rather a library for children living in the desert.
A library? Funded entirely by yourself. Shouldn't this be the responsibility of the academia? I've heard that the academia will be looking to prioritize the desert with the allocation of educational resources and materials. It sent over a large shipment of regular goods just last month.
You're right. And I was aware of these happenings as well. I just figured what I want to do is a separate effort from what's already being done by the academia. The desert is too vast. Even if the academia spends a lot of effort trying to disseminate knowledge in those parts, it might still take decades, if not centuries, to reduce the educational gap that already exists between the two regions.
Fair.
And what's more,
I mean, you guys were living like hobos.
Academia would ever reverse its stance in the future. All I know is that as a desert dweller, we should not wait passively for good things to happen to us. If we only did that, we'd never be able to stand up and hold our heads high.
For someone who lives in the desert, you are white AF.
I don't have much longer left on this world, so I just
Why
want to
didn't you
use
just tell us that
whatever
from the
time
start?
I didn't want you to know that I came from the desert. I've lived in the desert my entire life, and there wasn't anyone here that I could trust. I figured I needed as much safety as I could get.
To the point that you even disguised your identity? That's certainly taking playing it safe to the next level. Hold on. Don't tell me you've also been scammed before.
When I first came to Sumeru City, I brought a lot of Mora, hoping to find an architect that I could work with. Someone agreed to take on the project, and even took a sum of Mora from me, but then disappeared without a trace.
Damn.
After that, I heard that there are a lot of untrustworthy people in this business. Some would run as soon as they've been paid, while others would deliberately use expensive materials and take a cut of the construction funding. I spent a while collecting information in the city, and eventually learned that you're the most famous architect in all of Sumeru. I figured that you wouldn't need to make Mora by scamming people.
He's
So
one
I
of the most
decided to reach
famous
out to you.
and the brokest.
By the way, how did you know I was scammed? I don't think I've ever mentioned that to anybody.
Just a hunch. A while ago, I accepted an offer to work on a project in the desert, and was also scammed out of a large sum of mora. I ran into someone who was living in a pretty run-down house. I noticed a load-bearing wall on the verge of collapse, and suggested that I build a new house for him. He said that he had no way to pay for it, so I loaned him some of my own mora, and told him to get some stone and timber from the local vendors. Soon after that, I found out that he had gone gambling with all the money, and lost everything, down to the last coin.
Kaveh.
And after that, he even borrowed mora from me twice more, using a different excuse each time. I didn't even suspect him of any wrongdoing until he hired a group of mercenaries and tried to ambush me in his own house. According to him, I looked like an easy target because I was an academia scholar who didn't have any family or friends in the desert. What kind of person would just look at someone else and think,
You lent the man
"This guy
who
looks like an
gambled with
easy
your
target"?
money twice more. I love you, Kaveh, but you're such a fucking idiot
Those
sometimes.
kinds of things do happen every once in a while, yes.
Oh, Kaveh.
Folks like him
Dude wants to live like a hobo, let him be a hobo.
Have gone down the drain.
It's all right. You were also scammed by someone from Kasharwar after all. I should apologize to you on their behalf. Ultimately, neither of our experiences had anything to do with the desert or the rainforest.
Bad people are
who are new
everywhere.
to an area are always easy targets for criminals. Yeah, you'll find both good and bad people everywhere. I can't understand the logic of those who like to take advantage of others. Anyway, I digress. Let's return to the topic at hand. Did you keep rejecting my designs because you thought I was deliberately using expensive materials to take a cut as a middleman?
That's what I was afraid of initially, yes. I eventually understood that you weren't out to cheat me. But unfortunately, I still don't have nearly enough mora to pay for the design you propose. I've done the math, and know that we should be able to make it if we cut some corners. However, after our conversations, I can see that you're passionate about your design, and I'm quite fond of the proposal as well. So, I decided to try and see if I can afford your proposal as is. I've been looking for work every day, and in another month, I should be able to cobble together enough mora to meet the budget.
By cobble together, you mean you're going to spend your entire life savings on this project? But then, what will you do if something unexpected comes up, and you find yourself stuck with no emergency fund?
Kaveh, stop talking from experience.
To be honest, I haven't really thought about that. I mean, when you've lived to be my age and something happens, you can't really call it unexpected anymore. All I want is to build this library before I leave this world, so that the
You seem
children
really
of the
passionate about
future
this
would have some
project.
books to read, and the desert dwellers would be able to learn their letters and pick up some practical knowledge. A while ago, I heard that the academia had decided to recruit a number of exceptional children from the desert. Of course, this is welcomed news. But as someone who spent their entire life in the desert, I still have a few concerns. I know the desert life, and can predict what the problems will be. Many children from the desert have had neither the interest nor the proper environment to learn. So even if the academia would take them in, once they enter the halls, they might find themselves surrounded by other children who look and act very differently from them. And as a result, they might become
very different
socially
than them.
isolated.
You are all very white basic NPCs. You would think the desert people would be a little tanner or something, like Sino. But no.
Yes.
Or
I can
Dea.
imagine that.
Why are only the playable characters the ones with darker skin?
My father passed away at an early age. Even though I had a good number of friends
Oh my
during my years
God.
at the academia, for some time I still sensed many critical looks in my direction. I'm sure a child coming all the way from the desert will have an even harder time. But let's bring this back to the building itself. I think you said that you want this building to be quiet and warm, with its doors serving as a solid barrier to block out the sound and fury outside, and allow one to focus on the book in their hands. building it according to the current plan will be quite costly. Even if I don't charge you any commission fees, I don't think we'd be able to keep it under your budget. Any ideas on what we can do?
We can try a slightly different style. Would any merchants be willing to sponsor the project?
Sponsor the project? You mean convince wealthy merchants to join our cause and pool their money together to build the library? That does make sense. A library is a big project, and it's going to be hard to fund it with just a single person's Mora. What do you think? If we can find others to sponsor the project, we could potentially increase the size of the building 2- or 3-fold.
It's all fine with me, but where do you think we'll be able to find these sponsors?
Well, you're right. If I really think about it, I'm
Can
not
we
too
ask
familiar.
Dory?
Her? Hard pass. With her shrewd and greedy personality, she would never put Mora into something like this.
Maybe she can connect us with someone, some of her connections.
Now there's an idea. She probably won't say no if all she'll need to do is to make some introductions instead of spending Mora. Let's go and pay her a visit.
Why would we even suggest going to Dory, though? It's the problem. She legitimately is the reason why he's broke. Poor Kaveh. I hate coming here sometimes. Like, dude, this is the project that killed him. That ruined his life just because Dory scammed him. It kind of just makes me upset, you know? Poor Kaveh.
Now
Give him his
here's
house
some
back, Dory.
unexpected guess. What brings you to the Palace of Alcazar's Ray? When I saw Kaveh, I almost thought it must be that time of month again. Sadly for me, I must wait a few more days before I can collect my shiny Mora.
Hey, can't you think of something else for a change? You are literally living in an objet d'art, and yet your mind is still fixated on nothing but Mora? What is the point of wealth, anyway? Is your happiness entirely dependent on your hoard of cold, emotionless Mora?
You two are siblings of similar personality. I guess. In job, occupation, of course. You would understand him.
Exactly right. Mora is extremely valuable, you see. If
I
you don't keep your
mean...
mind on it, your Mora may just find its way to somebody else's pockets.
I don't think I've ever had a character... Well, that's maybe not entirely true, but... Because there are some characters like Kiana that I really relate to in Hoyoverse games and just video games in general. Kiana is legitimately me when it comes to like video games and other kind of stuff, and her basic philosophy is, oh, that didn't work, hit it harder. Oh, that didn't work, cook it hotter. Oh, that didn't work, drive faster. Like, that's Kiana. And that's legitimately stuff I would do. But then Kaveh is legitimately like my personality, and we all have the same job, so I understand what he's talking about. It's weird.
Trust me, this place is still way too empty. Just give me some time and I'll fill it to the brim with lots and lots of Mora.
You're hopeless.
Oh, so you have an actual reason to visit me? Alright, let's hear it.
We'd like to ask you for your help in introducing us to some merchants.
Merchants? Why? Is there some kind of business opportunity?
Not for you.
Oh, I see. So you're just looking for someone to help you fit the bill.
I knew you wouldn't be interested in something like this. Still, you wouldn't refuse just making some introductions for us, would you?
Sure, I can connect you with some folks, but with every service comes a fee, you know.
A fee? You mean just for introductions?
Of course! Making introductions means using my connections and putting my reputation on the line. Why wouldn't I charge a fee for something so important? Since we've known each other for so long, though, I'll give you a huge returning customer discount.
I used to love Dory. I hate her
500,000
now.
Mora.
500,000? I guess that's okay. But why are you charging a fee before we've even secured any funding? That just doesn't seem
Embodiment
right.
of greed. Yeah, she is. She just charged him 500,000 more, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Kaveh, have a backbone.
Besides, by helping us out, you'd be doing a great service to the public. Can't you take
I
your
know he
mind
just
off
doesn't
your
wanna be
Mora even
mean,
for
but,
just
like,
1
come
second
on.
and focus on something far more important?
Very well. Since you're so passionate about this project, I'll help you out and waive the introduction fees.
Thank
3
God.
of my business partners came by earlier today to discuss some things with me, and they still haven't left yet. I'll arrange a meeting for you, and just so we're clear, it'll be up to you to present your project and discuss any deals.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You can wait here. I'll bring them over
I
to
don't
you.
trust her. I don't trust her. She's still gonna charge us fees.
Dory gave us a brief introduction about the two of you. You are Kaveh, the renowned architect, and you are the traveler. Practically all of Teyvat has heard of you by now.
Don't let your voice shut
To
up.
be frank, I don't feel like there's an obvious business opportunity here. But since Dory took the time to introduce you, we can spend some time to have a conversation.
Okay, angry
So,
eyebrows, go away.
Alright, here's the situation. I've been commissioned to build a library in the desert, with the intended goal of allowing the desert
I do
dwellers to
love
have
Dory's
more access
glasses,
to
though.
reading materials.
So it's a public welfare project.
Correct.
Then the commission fees will likely be very low. You should be careful.
I'm not too concerned about how much I'll get for the commission fees, actually. I'm fine with doing it for free. I just want to get this project rolling as soon as possible. We're just a little short on funding.
So what? You can't possibly expect that we just cover the shortfall for you. Besides, what does a library in the desert have to do with us? If you want to build it yourself with your own Mora. Seems simple enough to me.
Hey, there's no need to be so harsh. They are Dory's associates, after all. Here, can you tell us a bit more about what we can gain from sponsoring this project?
You can get Kaveh's client to advertise your business in the desert.
So we'd mostly be doing it for reputation and exposure? There is some value to that. It could make doing business in the desert a bit easier.
Well, just speaking for myself, I've got nothing in the desert.
I also have a concern. It feels like there's not much to profit from in the short term. But in the long term, the reputation gain also doesn't sound like it'd offset the cost of the sponsorship.
Then how about this? What if, instead of building a single library, we commit to an entire complex of buildings dedicated to culture and education?
Wouldn't that just cost more?
Yes, but in that case... Mr. Kaveh, please tell us what you have in mind.
I'll just give an example. If we were to build a library and a school near Aru Village, then the desert dwellers would gradually begin to migrate towards the area. A whole suite of buildings will be able to host more traffic, and thus drive the economic development of the entire area. In turn, that would lead to direct business opportunities. I've been to the desert several times. Although there are still many lingering tensions between the two regions, the amount of interaction has been steadily increasing.
I'm just
and
gonna
in the long
put
term,
my
the
controller
desert will
down
only become
for a
more
second,
and more
and I'm
important
just
to
gonna
Sumeru.
explain this very simply. Not a library anymore. A school and education complex, which will drive the economy up. which will bring more businesses in. And what businesses will people do business with in the desert? Because they're so, well, let's just say, I don't want to say racist, but they have their beef with the academia. Maybe the people who built the library. He's going to legitimately increase the economy. He's going to greatly adapt the economy. And give these people pretty much the rights to a lot of the businesses and advertisements. If this works, he could literally just build an almost entire city in the desert. You don't understand how like projects like this can just sprout. It can turn almost like non-existent rundown places into more modernized areas. It happens all the time. And unfortunately, yes, a lot of the time, some of the people who've already lived there do get kind of pushed out. Or they adapt and they move into the, like, ever expansion. Honestly, for Kaveh to take this on, that's, like, crazy. But in a good way.
You do have a point.
Education in the desert is indeed an industry that has not been tapped into. If we can be the first to place stakes in the area.
And you just believe anything he tells you?
It's Kaveh.
Even the greenest amateurs know that urban planning will affect population flow. If you don't believe me, you can ask anyone on the street to confirm it to you.
You
don't seem to think your questions very through before speaking. Please only ask questions that were relevant to the discussion.
Wait, something just occurred to me. If we're going to build a library in the desert, Aru Village would obviously be the best place for it. But it seems we're not the only ones with our eyes on the village. I heard a rumor a while back saying a lot of land and buildings in Aru Village have already been secretly purchased by a big-name merchant.
What?
What?
In other words, if we try to join the fray now, there won't be much left for us. If we want to build a suite of buildings focused on education and culture, Aru Village is the prime location. If we want to build it anywhere else, we'll have to deal with a far larger list of problems.
Then there's no hurry. We can wait for Aru Village to develop more first and get into the market for expansion to other areas.
But if you were to do that...
Is there nothing else to discuss? Great timing! I pretty much heard all I want to hear. If there are no other urgent matters...
Okay, then get out.
I'll be off as well. If you have any new ideas, please feel free to reach out.
It seems like the others are not interested in funding this, so no point in me doing this on my own. Let's revisit this another time.
Hey, guys, wait! Well, what can I say? I guess it went
That's
somewhat
just
as
business,
expected.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just another day doing business with people. But I can never get used to that. Those people never think of anyone other than themselves. Looks like we'll have to figure out some other way to get the funding.
How did the meeting go? Want to talk about it?
Not really.
Oh, where did all that passion go from earlier, I take it you weren't able to find a sponsor for your project?
Please don't tell me that you're here to mock us.
What kind of person do you take me for? Would the kind and generous Lord Sakuma Bay really do such a thing? I will say, though, I more or less expected this outcome even before I introduced them to you. You can try to talk up the project all you want, but the facts will remain the same. This project is high investment with slow returns. No sane person would put their money into this.
You're gonna do it, aren't you?
This isn't just a business project, right? Also, if you already knew no one would want to partner with us, why did you still try to charge me
You might want to remember who your creditor is before you start talking like that, Kaveh.
I'll pay back every last coin that I still owe you, but that's a completely different matter.
Alright, since you're so devastated about this, I'll you up for dinner with another big-name merchant. In fact, I'll be inviting the most famous merchant in all of Sumeru, so I'll be counting on your performance.
What? Really? I would like to sincerely apologize for my attitude just now. So, where would we be meeting this merchant?
Follow me. Oh, I suppose both of you can come.
Oh, wow, thanks. I wasn't leaving Kaveh's side when you're around. You would literally scam him out of everything.
I just wish that some people would actually do their jobs.
Should we just feed Dory to a shark? I kind of want to. Let me guess, it's the sweeper dude.
This is the place.
You said you're going to introduce us to the most famous merchant in Sumeru.
Oh, she's
where
talking
are
about
they?
herself.
You still don't get it, huh? The most famous merchant in Sumeru.
Lord Susanna Bay.
Huh? So you meant yourself all along? Then why did you bring us here?
Well, I've given it some thought, and that complex of education and culture buildings that you mentioned does hold some promise. It'll be a pretty big Mora sink, and I'll have to fund it all on my own, but that's not really a problem for me.
Seriously? Where's this generosity coming from so suddenly? Are you trying to scam me again?
The reasons are not important. What's important is that I'm willing to help you. However, you know just as well as me that once this project actually breaks ground, it'll start sucking Mora from my pockets like crazy. So...
I get it. I won't charge any commission fees, and I'll take responsibility for the entire project.
No!
Splendid! Then let's sign the contract right away.
Kaveh! Oh, you hurt me.
This way,
If you
the
aren't
children
gonna...
of the desert will have some books to read. Their lives should improve a bit after this.
If you aren't gonna charge any commission fees, that's one thing. You're not gonna get paid. This is for the public. That's great. You're being very generous. But to also take responsibility for the project when you're not getting paid is the dumbest thing you can do, because if it fails, you have to pay it back. And if you're not getting paid in the first place, it is a total risk. Are you... I love you, Kaveh, but every time you speak to Dory, you get scammed.
Of course, there are a few things better than using my knowledge to help other people change their fates. I must thank you as well, Dory. I used to say you only cared about Mora, which might have been some prejudice on my part. Now, let's have a quick discussion. Where would you want the library to be built?
There's no rush. I'll provide you with a copy of the deed when we get back. You can just use the address on the document to find the lot.
Huh? The deed? So hold on a sec. The person who has been buying up everything around our
Oh yeah, I
village
figured
was
that
you
out
all along?
already. Kaveh, you're a little slow sometimes.
About that. Yep, yours truly has been buying up all the land. I must thank you for bringing your ideas to me. Before our conversation, I had no idea what to build on all those lots. So, from my perspective, this has been a great turn of events. I didn't put much in and easily got a lot in return.
But what about my commission fees?
Huh? Didn't you waive those yourself? I was just gonna say that to Kavehs. We mustn't procrastinate and should start construction as soon as possible.
Idiot.
But before I could finish my sentence, you volunteered to waive your commission fees and even promised to take responsibility for the whole project from start to finish. I am so touched, really.
It's obvious that you used every trick in the book to deceive me. You deliberately paused for a long time while talking about the project and kept glancing at me with that menacing look in your eyes.
Huh? You really think so? Well, the contract's already been signed, so there's no point in dwelling on the details. You know what? I'll pay for tonight's dinner.
I hate you, Dory.
Fine. I'll drop the argument on the commission fees. But since you
But
said
he also
you're
took
paying
responsibility for the project, which means he'll have to pay it back if it fails to Dory. if the project falls through because it's her land, or depending on what they mean by this, is he needs to finish this project before he goes off and can do another one, which means he's not getting paid at all.
I'm going to order the best dishes and booze this place has to offer, and lots of it. Tonight, we're feasting until I've recouped my full commission fees.
No, Kaveh. Oh, well, guys, it's about 11 o'clock, and you guys know I don't have a lot of time to stream in the morning, but this is a really, really fun hangout, even though I am really pissed off at Dory. In general, I usually am, though. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys can catch tomorrow's TOF stream, which will be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that just because I really like exploring in Tower of Fantasy. It's not as much fun without so many people playing anymore, but it still is a really fun game. And then, of course, Thursday, we might be finishing the base game of Kingdom Hearts, which will be awesome. So, I hope to see you guys there. As always, it's been Rain, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!